You've been hit by another driver. You're hurt. You're shaken up. Now you find out they don't have any insurance. What next? I'm John Whatley with Stein Whatley Astorino, Louisville's personal injury law firm. I've got Rob Astorino with me here today, and we're going to be discussing or answering that question. What do you do if the other driver does not have insurance?
Well, the first thing you do is you look at your own insurance policy, and you hopefully have a coverage called uninsured motorist coverage. And that coverage is exactly what you think it would be. It's if an uninsured driver hits you and causes damage, your own insurance company at that point will step into the shoes of what their insurance company should have done and can help pay for the bodily injury claim, the liability claim, the injuries that they have caused you from this wreck, even though they were irresponsible and didn't have insurance.
Yeah. So even though in Kentucky, it's mandatory to have insurance, it's also, there's a lot of folks that are on the roads that don't follow the law. In those types of cases, protect yourself. Make sure you do have coverage that will protect you. If for some reason you don't have coverage, all's not lost. There's still some other things that can be done to help you out. Now, it's not as good as if you did have coverage, but there's still PIP coverage that can help you in the event that you need to see a medical doctor or get treatment.
Yeah, and the thing about uninsured motorist coverage, so if you get hit by a driver with no insurance coverage whatsoever, a mandatory line of coverage in Kentucky is called uninsured motorist coverage. Unless you specifically sign a form that says, I don't want this coverage, you will have it to the minimum limits. The way that Kentucky law is set up, it says everyone should be covered up to the minimum limits regardless if the other person is doing what they're supposed to or not. And so it's very rare that you won't have this coverage. And if you don't have it, we would probably ask more questions. If you have insurance and you don't have that specific line of coverage, it's very unusual. So,
well, I'll also admit, or I will say, one of the things that no one will tell you is that there are some insurance companies that are not as reputable as others. And in order to get you to sign off on waiving your UIM coverage, which is it's a major risk factor for insurance companies. That's one of the few coverages that actually protect you on your auto insurance coverage. They'll offer certain discount incentives, or they'll say, hey, if you sign this, you're gonna save 5% or something like that, and it's sold to you as if it's like a discount that you're getting, and you just have to sign for it.
Yeah.
Which, be very, very careful. Read what it is you're signing. What's being sold to you is not always what you're signing.
Yeah. And our firm will, offer a free review of coverage for our clients. Or people who, follow this page, comment on the video. We will offer a free review of insurance coverages to make sure that you are getting what you think you're getting on that auto coverage. Another thing that you just mentioned there is, in addition to uninsured motorists, there's a coverage called underinsured motorists, UIM, which if you're hit by somebody who maybe they do have insurance, but they don't have very much of it. They have the minimum limits in Kentucky, which can really only cover very minor injuries at this point with the way inflation's happened. You can have a coverage that steps in and pays you above and beyond what that person who hit you has.
Right.
So that's additional coverage available to you, even if the other person's insured. And both of those forms, the and the UIM, are available through your own insurance. So you're totally in control of having those policies.
Thanks for that, Rob. How can attorneys help?
So in addition to, reviewing your coverage and making sure the insurance company is not hiding coverages from you. That was a big scandal with a major insurance company who advertised a lot on TV recently in Kentucky. People were paying for coverages and they were not telling them that they had them. An attorney can make sure that you're able to find all the coverages that are available for you. Sometimes there are coverages available for you from other people that you live with or other cars that you were not involved with that you may not immediately think apply to this wreck. Attorneys who are familiar with insurance law, like our firm, can look into that, make sure you're getting every single policy that could potentially cover you. Sometimes a driver on the other side, you think he has no insurance at the time of the wreck, but we get into that, maybe he's covered by a policy that he wasn't aware of, or that, the insurance company on their side isn't going to tell you about until you get into it. So the main way an attorney can help if you've been hit by an uninsured driver is to make sure that no insurance policies are slipping through the cracks, or even if you're hit by a driver who claims they do have insurance, but it's not enough to cover your claims, look at many, many different sources, make sure nothing's left on the table, and find all those potential policies for you.
Yeah, and I think you need to be very, very, very careful about, I've seen this where at the scene, sometimes it's because the driver is borrowing someone's car. There's various reasons why this comes up. In some cases, they just don't have proof of insurance and they don't know. And so the officer's going to sometimes cite them for no insurance, which is a criminal violation. And then they'll put in the accident report that they're uninsured. They'll leave the insurance information blank for that particular driver. What we do as lawyers, I've been doing this 20 years and I've done it a bunch of times. I show up at court at arraignment for the individual that hit my client, and lo and behold, they actually do have insurance. They've requested the insurance card, they show up and they have it. In some cases, another thing that happens is, and I've done this, because sometimes people, for whatever reason, I don't know why they do it, but it's not in their own interest to do it, but they will not tell the officer that they have insurance or refuse to give insurance information. One of the ways I've gotten around that, and I know other attorneys do this as well, the county clerk keeps information about insurance coverage on vehicles that are with VIN numbers in the county. And oftentimes I've gone down there and be able to find out what was the last insurance carrier that covered this vehicle, or at least what we reported, reach out to them, and lo and behold, they're still insuring that car. Another thing to keep a lookout that, don't just assume, sometimes people are maybe delivering for a business or within the course and scope of their business, even though it doesn't look like a business truck or business car, it may still be for a business purpose, and there may be coverage through some sort of commercial policy.
No, those are all good points, and most of those are things that anybody, even not attorneys, can do. Show up to court, send letters to the county clerk. But if you don't know exactly where you're looking, it could be hard to get those things done. In addition, there are paid services that we know about. We know which ones are reputable that can potentially go find coverage. They have access to databases that are somewhat private that can try to find that information. And again, don't necessarily always take the person at the scene, or especially the insurance company's word for it. Like I said, there's a major scandal with a large insurance company where they weren't providing information. I've had insurance companies tell me that policies were canceled, that once we got into it, they were absolutely not canceled. So that's just straight up lying right to my face, like I wouldn't figure it out. There's insurers. I'm actually dealing with an insurer this week who claims that a policy, won't cover something, and after we ask them for the actual insurance policy language itself, it appears that it is going to cover it.
Right.
So the very first thing to do, after you've been hit by somebody who doesn't have insurance, is really make sure that they don't have insurance. Once you've done that, if they truly don't have insurance, if no one in the car they were driving has insurance, if there's no hope there, then there's often options through your own insurance sources that can help pay for that wreck. So, it's always a good idea, if you're thinking about calling an attorney, to go ahead and do it, even if the other person isn't insured. And before you spend a lot of time and effort, getting angry about that, and trying to deal with that on your own, just see if an attorney can help you. Normally, we'll be able to find out the answers to that very quickly.
Yeah. Well, one, you'll get relief from anxiety because we're going to take on that for you. And two, we're probably going to do it more efficiently than the individual could do on their own because we just do it every day.
Yeah. I mean, even some attorneys, we've gotten cases after they've come through other offices and we found additional insurance policies. So, I mean, there are ways to locate this stuff, and there are many, many, many different places it can be, and especially for serious injuries, minor injuries in some cases as well, but especially for serious injuries, it's really important that you find every single dollar of insurance that's out there.
Yeah. So practical advice from us, or at least from me, is check your UN policy language. 2, don't assume that the insurance company is going to do right by you. 3, call Stein Whatley Astorino.
I think that's good advice.
If you believe you're injured by an uninsured driver, call Stein Whatley Astorino today. 502-553-4750. Stein Whatley Astorino, serious attorneys, serious results.